Hi guys. Now we're going to do chapter 3, production, income, and spending in the mixed economy. So I hope you guys still remember the definition of the mixed economy and also the advantages and the disadvantages. So let me remind you before we move on. So the mixed economy is a combination of the centrally planned economic system, which is the command system, and the pure markets economic system. And then the advantages of the mixed economy, it's that because we know that in the mixed economy the government provide for our needs and the markets provide for our wants. So that is why we say that the advantage of the mixed economy is that there's a balance between our needs and our wants, which our needs are provided for by the government, and the wants are met by the markets. So that was the advantage, and the disadvantage. We said that the only disadvantage in the mixed economy is that we have to pay tax. So yeah. For these slides, I'm going to go through them all because they are short and I think they are very important. This is a very important, like, not that I'm saying other chapters were not that important, but like this one is more detailed. So we're going to describe how total production, total income, and total spending in the economy are related. These are the learning outcomes. So you must be able to describe how total income, total production, and total spending in the economy are related, distinguish between stocks and flows, describe the different source of production and income, distinguish between households and firms, and show how their decisions and activities are interrelated. Show how the government sector interacts with households and firms. Am I recording? Okay. Show how show how the government sector interacts with households and firms. Show how the foreign sector interacts with the domestic economy. And then describe South Africa's factor endowment. So guys, let's go. Introduction, three major flows in an economy: source, interdependent in an economy system, purpose. They focus on UI. This is just like, hey, they say here we should refer to our textbook, page 41, to identify the three major flows in the economy. So the three major flows are production, spending, and income. Those are the flows. And then here they give a difference between stocks and flows. They say stocks, no time dimension measured at a specific moment. For example, wealth, assets, liabilities, capital, and population. So when I try to remember stocks, I just say that something when we speak of stocks, it is currently happening, you know. It does not happen over a period of time because flows, they are, for me, I say I differentiate it as like this. So I say stocks, they are constant flows. They are um no, stocks are occasional. They take place here and there occasionally. And flows, they happen now, like constantly. Is that even a word? But yeah, because for example, so there was an example I read on a research Meta AI when I was trying to understand the difference between stocks and flows. And they said that stocks, okay, they gave an example to say that imagine a bathtub with water. So that is an example of stocks. It's a bathtub with water. So the water is just there in the bathtub. And then they say, now imagine the bathtub and then you remove the lid. there from the bottom and they also start to flow out. So that is what flow that refers to what to flows. And then so they say here flows are measured over a period. For example, income, profits, loss, investment, and demand. Income, like guys, when you receive income, your salary, it's a flow because you get money, you use it, you gain another income, you get your salary, you use, you save it. You know, it's a flow. It's something that like keeps happening, keeps going. But like for stock, for instance, your assets or your wealth, you can't be buying assets like now and now and now and now. For instance, like a car could be an asset. You can't buy a car today, you can't buy a car tomorrow and again, or next month, or the following month. But with your income, such as your salary, you can get a salary today. At the end of this month, you can get it at the end of the following month, and so on. I'm just trying to make you guys understand the difference. Let me try to make another example. Also, nje, with wealth is accumulated over time. Yeah, it's accumulated over time. Also, because you have more assets, you've gained assets as the years go. But guys, I hope you do get the difference here. It's also important to know the examples, but also just know what is happening. So with the stock, it's something that happens occasionally, and then flow, it's constant. It's constant because you get income, you get your salary this month, you get it the following month, you get it the next month, and all of that. But with your assets, for instance, you can't buy a car this month and buy another one next month. You might buy a car this month, and then you probably buy another one maybe after 7 years. So there's no time dimension. But with the flows, there's a time dimension because you know that at the end of the month, I'm gonna get my salary. At the end of the following month, I'm gonna get my salary. And also if your the owner of the company, like your employee, decides to say, okay, no, this month we're planning to give you your salary before the end of the month. So we give it to you on the 28th or somewhere there. So there is a time dimension. You always know when you're going to receive your money. Even, yeah, you know when something is going to occur with the flows. And then it measured at a specific moment. Stocks are measured at a specific moment. So at that moment when they actually occur or they happen, at that time when you buy a car. But with the flows, they measured over a period. So such as after a month or or after a year when you make another profit. Yo, but I hope this was clear, guys. Yo. And then sources of production. So sources of production is like factors of production because oh yeah, they say factors of production. It's natural resources, which is land. We know that the factors of production are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So don't be confused now if they say sources of production, it's still factors of production, and there are four of them. It's land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So land is natural, availability cannot be increased, so we cannot increase land. And then fixed and supply, it is also J fixed. Labor, we have human, mental, and physical efforts. And I did mention on the if you watched my video for part 2 to say that labor is divided into two parts: human mental, which is basically your skills and the knowledge that you have, and then physical efforts, and then now it's when you put in the work to 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 try and be active in the production process okanye in an organization nje. Capital, manufacture resources, produce others. So capital is those capital goods such as machinery which are used to produce other goods. And then entrepreneurship, innovators, risk takers, driving force. Very important to know that entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs, they are risk takers. Also, they're innovators because they come up with ideas. And also they identify opportunities to say, okay, I see an opportunity there. Let me take a risk and start this business. So the sources of production, it's land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Technology, more can be produced with the given amount of factor of production. So they're saying that technology, we might say technology is one of the factors of production or sources of production because we need technology in the production process. And currently, um, currently, like technological resources are being used in the production process. Money is not a factor of production. Why? Because money is just a medium of exchange. We use money to purchase things. It's a medium of exchange. You pay money to get something else. It's not used to produce something or yeah, but it's just not a factor of production. The choice of technique, capital, and labor intensive. Then we have the sources of income. So we have the sources of production. It's very important to know this because the sources of production, it's land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And then we also have sources of income. And then the sources of income, those are rewards of the factors of production. So it is the remuneration of the factors of production. So for land, or they say here natural resource, the remuneration is rent. So for having your land, you get a reward, which is a rent, because when you own a land, you can always like not really sell, but lease that piece of land to say, okay, there's this person who wants to start to start their business, but they don't have land. Then you give them your land, they build their shop there, and then they pay you rent every month for using your land. So for land, it's rent, and then for labor, it's just people, it's us working. So we get salaries or wages. And then for capital is the machinery which is used in the production process, it gets interest. And then for entrepreneurship, those are the risk takers. They they start a business with the aim of making a profit. So their reward is profit. Technology, sometimes defined as a fifth factor of production. So you know that we have four types of factors of production, which is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So technology is sometimes defined as the fifth factor of production. Invention is the discovery of new knowledge, while incorporation of this knowledge is called innovation. The application of new, okay, no, I think so. The important fact here would see technology is sometimes defined as the fifth factor of production. And then choice of techniques. This is also not on the learning outcome, but I'll just do it. So capital intensive, it is when the production process is dominated by machines. So when a production process is dominated by machines, we say that it is capital intensive. Capital gives you an idea of what's okay, they now machines are dominating this business because I've been saying that capital goods or capital nje as being one of the factors of production, it refers to the machinery which is used in the production process. So capital intensive, now that production process is dominated by machines. Labor intensive, also labor from the as one of the factors of production, and labor it's people. So this means that that production process is dominated by labor, by people. And then sources of production now. Why is money not a factor of production? We did answer this because money is mainly a means of payment. So sources of spending, they what? Sources of production. Oh, sources of production, those with the factors of production. And we said also it's land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And then there were sources of income, sources of income, yes, where now we say that these factors of production, they are remunerated. Land is rent, labor, it's wage and salary, capital, it's interest, and entrepreneurship, it's profits. Now we look at the sources of spending. So some are households, there are sources of spending as households, firms, government, and foreign sector. They spend in the economy. So households, they consume goods and services. So a symbol is consumption and the symbol is C. And then firms, they invest in the economy. The symbol is I. How do they invest? When they purchase the capital goods. Because when they purchase capital goods such as machinery and equipment, they're investing because they're going to use that equipment to do what? To produce some goods and services. And we did say, Guti, let me just go to the slide. And we did say, Guti, here, the capital, its reward or the remuneration is interest. So when you buy capital goods, you're basically investing in your business because you're going to earn in interest. Government also spends in the economy by providing us with the public goods and services. So G for government expenditure, and then foreign sector, which is our net exports. So to differentiate between exports and to differentiate between exports and imports. So this is how I differentiated. So imports, it's IMPORT. This is import and this is export. So to know to know okay, which one indicates the goods which are coming into the country and which one indicates the goods that are leaving the country. I just look at this, the first um the first letter here, imports, and then I take this, I convert it to this import from import to imports. So imports, it means that goods are coming into the country. This is indicated by the I here at the beginning of this word. So goods are coming into the country. So imports it's not a source of spending because goods are coming into the country. It means that we are spending in another country. We're not spending here in our economy. And then again, if imports here, it means goods are coming into the country. Therefore, exports means that goods are leaving the country. Which means now if the goods are leaving the country, it means that we are selling to the rest of the world. Now, that is what's the sources of spending because they are spending their income on us in the economy. Hence, the goods are leaving the economy. I hope you guys understood that. To say that, okay, to say, let me repeat, to differentiate between imports and exports, and then so that you're able to so that you know which one indicates the goods that are going out of the country, goods that are leaving the country, or goods that are coming into the country. You just take imports and then you use this I at the beginning of the word imports. So this I will then will then change to in. So this means that imports are goods that are coming into the country, which means that we are buying, which we are spending Upi in other countries, hence the goods is coming inside. And then exports, so if imports is in, therefore exports here is out. So exports means that the goods are leaving our economy, they are going out, which means that we are selling goods to the rest of the world, which is a source of spending because therefore it means that that country that we are exporting to is spending their income on us in order to purchase these goods and services. Yeah, so sources of spending, it's household, firms, government, and foreign sector. And the symbol is for the households, it's C, because they consume, households are also consumers, and consumers, they consume goods and services, so it's C. Firms, it's investment, I. Government, it's G for government expenditure. Foreign sector, it's NX for net exports, meaning that goods are leaving the economy, we are selling to the rest of the world, and therefore they are spending in our economy. Sources of spending. I hope you guys understood that one. Sources of spending, they say in here, households, basic units, own factor. Okay, okay. Okay, so let me just explain. So the sources of spending is the household. I did explain this there here in this previous slide, but I'll just do it again. The sources of spending, the households, also known as the consumers. The households, they are the owners of the factors of production. So they own the factors of production. I'm a household. My households, they own, this is very important to say, my households, they own the effects of production. They sell the effects of production to the firms and also to the factor markets. And then they get rewarded for the effects of production. And then they purchase goods and services from the goods market to satisfy their needs. Let me just show this in a diagram to say mhm. Lose the whiteboard. Why can't I see it? I was trying to find the whiteboard. Now I've forgotten what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so they said here households, they have the basic units, they own the effects of production, they sell to firms the effects of production. Okay, I want to show this. So it's the interaction of the households between the firms, the factor markets, and the goods market. Okay, let me just explain. So the households, they own the factors of production. So you have, okay, thank you, God. So you have your households here. They are the owners of factors of production, right? So you know the four types of factors of production, which is land. I'm going to illustrate with an A. Okay, let me just try to write it in gay. I'm gonna say it's land. Oh, because labor is also a, so let me just write the full. It's like, what did I mean? Oh, nice. So it's land, um, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. So these are our, you. So these are the four, um, these are the factors of production, right? And then, where's my pen? And then the household, they will take these factors of production and because they are the owners of the factors of production. I did say, Guti, the households, they own the land, they own labor, because labor is it's people, it's everyone. They own the capital, and they also um some of the households, they are entrepreneurs, meaning that they're business people. So here we'll be having the firm. So the households will provide the firms with these factors of production. Sorry, they'll provide the factor market because there's a factor market, which is just basically there to buy the factors of production from the household. This is factor. So, guys, why am I not using this? Because I've discovered it as me. Why am I not using this? Then here we have the factor markets. So so the households, they own the factors of production, they own all of this. So they're going to take their factors of production, provide it to the factor market. The factor markets will take the factors of production. Okay, no, the factor markets will remunerate the households for their factors of production. So they'll give any rewards, a reward households for their factors of production. And then Lauma reward, what are those rewards? And I did mention Guti, for land, you get rent. Just gonna write R. For labor, you get a salary or a wage. S. For capital, you get interest, I. And then for entrepreneurship, you get a profit, P. So the households will provide their factor of production to the factor markets. Then the factor bucket will reward the households for their factors of production. Then the factor markets will take these factors of production to the what? To the firms, the producers now. To the what? To the firm. So the factor market takes the factors of production. These are what? These are the factor of production, which are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. The factor market takes the effects of production to the firm. The firm does what with the effects of production? Oh no, the firm also pays the factor market for these effects of production. In which form? In the same form. So the factor market will receive a remuneration for the factors of production in a form of rent for land, um, profits-ish production, profits for entrepreneurship, interest for capital, and salary or wage for labor. The firm also pays the factor market. The factor market is just there to be a middleman between the firm and the households because the factor market only collects the factors of production from the households and then provides them to the firm. Then the firm uses these factors of production in the production process to produce other goods and services. Then after that, the firm will sell the goods and services. Let me just use this. Here. They will sell the goods. Then the firm sells the goods and services towards to the products market or the goods market. The products market is the same as the goods market. The goods markets are basically our markets such as Pick and Pay and so on, where we buy goods and services. So this is the products markets. So the firm would then produce goods and services, then sell them to the what? To the products markets. The products markets is basically it's there to buy finished goods and services from the firm and then distribute those goods and services to the households. So when the product market buys these goods and services from the firm, they would also pay the firms. Whatever they pay the firm would be an income to the firm. So they provide our firms with what? With income. This is an income. And then the products market, such as your Pick and Pay or your Spa and so on, they then sell these goods and services to who? To the household, to us. We go now to buy the goods and services. So I'm just going to write G and S. So now we go to Pick and Pay, we buy goods and services, and in return, we pay for these goods and services, which is an income to the what? To the products markets as well. So this is going to be what's income. Yeah, this is income. So guys, I hope you understand this. Kuti, the households, they are they are the owners of the factors of production. And then households, as they are the owners of the factors of production, they will provide their factors of production, which is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. They will take their factors of production, provided to the factor market. The factor market is just there to act as a middleman between the households and the firm, because the factor market only collects the factors of production from the households. As the name says, factor markets. It just collects the factors of production from the households. And then in return, the factor market remunerates the households for their factors of production. Land gets rent, labor, salary or wage, capital, its interest, and entrepreneurship, its profits. After that, the factor market then takes the factors of production to the firms. The firms who are going to use these factors of production in their production process in order to produce goods and services that can be consumed. In return, the firm would also pay the factor market for having provided them with the factors of production. Still, the land will receive rent, labor will receive salary or wage, capital will get interest, and entrepreneurship will get a profit. Then the firm uses this factor of production. They produce goods and services. And then when it's goods and services, finished goods and services, they then now sell those goods and services to the product markets. The product markets goes to the firms and buys these finished goods and services. Your product markets are your Pick and Pay, your markets where you buy goods and services nje, that you use for consumption. And then also the product market pays for these goods and services, which is going to be what's an income to the firm. And also the product market then, we as a household, as households, we then now go to the products markets to buy these goods and services. So now the product markets will sell goods and services to the households, and the household will pay for these goods and services, which is going to be what's an income to the products market. So the payment of goods and services will be an income to the products market. And also here the payment of goods and services to the firm will be an income to the firms. Okay, let me go back here. So they were saying here, yeah, saying just what I explained, Guti, the households are the owners of the factors of production. They sell to firms and then to factor markets. No, they sell to to the factor market first, and then the factor market will sell to firm, and then they are rewarded. Then okay, no, this is going to confuse you guys. Just it's what I explained there on the whiteboard. And then the firms, to our firms, they production agents, buyers in the factor markets, converts goods into converts into finished goods, sellers in the goods market. Um, okay, like here they're saying that our firms, they are the producers, and also they go to say they are the buyers in the factor markets because they buy factors of production. And then also they are the sellers in the product markets because they sell goods and services to the products markets. And also they produce finished goods and services, firms. And then government, um sorry, I don't know. So this is a products market or a goods market. I saw that it's written goods market. So don't be confused with goods market. So don't be confused. It's the same thing. Products market is the same thing as goods markets, or it's products markets, goods markets, and what? Yeah, G products markets and goods markets for now. Let's just, and then we have government. Government serves communities. We know that government serves communities by doing what? By providing public goods and services such as infrastructure, hospitals, schools, clinics, and many other things. Attain national goals, and then establish economic framework, purchase production factors from the household, purchase from firms, provide public goods and services, finance via tax, transfer payments. Transfer payments, those are your grants and so on that you receive from the government. So let me include the government again here in this thing. So where am I going to put the government? The government should be in the middle though, because the government interacts with the households, the product markets, the firms, and the factor markets. So let me write here. Let's see. Government. So the government it provide the us with the public goods and services, right? So the government will do what? Provide the households us with what? With public goods and services. I'm just gonna write P and S to say this is the public goods and services. Government provides us with the public goods and services. And in return, what do we provide the government? Everyone knows this. We do what? We pay tax to the government. so that the government can be able to provide these goods and services. The government is relying on our tax. And also, the government provides public goods to the firms such as infrastructure and so that the firms can carry their duties as well. They so that they can produce goods and services. The government also provides to firms. So provider, what's the public goods and services? Because guys, like just you see, one of the public goods that the government provides firms with is road infrastructure such as road. If there were no roads, if the government was not investing in building proper roads, the firms would struggle to transport their goods so that their goods will reach the products markets or or whoever is demanding those goods. The firms will struggle. So the government also helps the firms to stimulate their production through providing them with the public goods and services such as infrastructure. And also the firms do what? They pay tax to the government. Taxation, tax. And then the government also um purchases um or the government also requires the factors of production. So the government will go to the factor markets and ask for factors of production. So this is going to be FOP. Now, maybe someone is asking themselves, okay, so why now isn't the government taking the effects of production from the households? Exactly, because the households are the owners of the effects of production. The question is because the households um they render all the effects of production to the factor markets. Then whoever requires the factors of production must get it from the factor markets because even the firms they get the factors of production from the factor market. Because the factor market is basically just there to collect the factors of production from the households. So the government will then go to the factor market to get our factors of production, and in return, the government will pay the factor market for the factor of production in the same way that the factors of production are rewarded, which is land gets rent, labor gets salary or wage, capital get interest, entrepreneurship gets profit. Then also the government will then um purchase goods and services from the products markets. The same markets that we go to shop, the government also shops from those markets in order to provide for the public because there's no special shop that is there up there for the government only. The government also shops in the same markets that we shop in and then use the same products to provide the public. So here the government is looking for what? For goods and and services. Services such as maybe what do we use to build roads? But like those equipment that the government will need maybe to build roads and create more infrastructure. And maybe in the product market, the government will purchase things like books and textbooks to provide for public schools and so on. And then so in return for goods and services, the government will provide payment of goods and services to the product markets, which will be an income to the products markets. So I'll just write an I here. This payment will be what? Will be an income to the products markets. So that is how the government interacts with each of these sources in the economy. And then the foreign sector, we deal with the foreign sector when we want to um sell goods to the rest of the world or when you want to buy goods from the rest of the world. Then you have aggregate spending. This aggregate means total. So in total spending whereby we have consumption expenditure by households, investment, government spending, and foreign sector minus imports. Excuse me, so this is like this. It's this is a formula in J. It's C plus O, hard labor when you could just do it the easy way. It's the C plus I plus G plus, what am I forgetting? Consumption expenditure plus investment plus government expenditure. Plus what, guys? Um, plus X minus M plus X minus M. Let me double check. Yeah. Oh, imports is Z. So the imports is not, I thought imports is going to be M because imports. So imports is Z. So basically what this is saying is that it's saying consumption expenditure by households plus investment plus government expending plus exports minus imports, you get what? Total spending. Or when instead of total, they use aggregates. So it's basically the same thing. Total spending and aggregate spending, it's the same thing. And then the different components of production, income, and spending. So these are the different components that we have: natural resources, land, labor, and capital. Spending, households. Okay, we did this to say sources of spending. These are the sources of spending, and then sources of income, then sources of production. Yes. So here they've just put them all together in one slide. So the sources of production, it's natural resources, which is land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. We need these in order to produce goods and services. And then the sources of spending, it's households, firms, government, and foreign sector. And then sources of income, now it's the reward for the factors of production, which is rent, wages and salaries, interest and profit. All sectors and markets are interrelated through the process of production, income, and spending. So all the sectors are related through the process of production, income, and spending. The economic circular flow model, major participants in the economy. So the participants in the economy is the household, the firms, the government, the foreign sector, and the financial sector. We do not speak of the financial sector, but also the financial sector is a major participant in the economy. Major markets, we have a goods market, which is the market for goods and services, the factor market, which is the market for factor of production, and the financial market deals with money. And the major flows, we say major flows are production, income, and spending. Flows have a determined time, something like that though. They are measured over a period, they have a time dimension. And then total spending in the economy consists of spending by major participants. So total spending is basically consists of spending by everyone in the economy, which are the households, firms, government, foreign sector, and financial sector. Total spending is the same as aggregate spending. So don't be confused. And then we have the households. Okay, they explain the same thing that I explained here. So say the households, they are the individual, they are the owners of the factors of production. They sell their factors of production to the firms. And then the firm, they employ the factors of production to produce goods and services, meaning that they buy factors of production from the factor market in order to produce goods and services. The firms are the buyers in the factor markets. We know that because firms buy factors of production from the factor markets. Capital is one of the factors of production purchased by firms, obviously. And then the act of purchasing capital good is called investment or capital formation. So I did explain this as well to say when you're purchasing capital goods, you're purchasing a machine which is going to earn interest. So it's like you're doing what? You're doing an investment. Or another economic term, it's capital formation, which is basically means what you're purchasing capital goods. So you're purchasing equipment. And then the circular flow, I did explain this as well. I've already explained this, guys, to say um the circular flow of goods and services. So here they're showing the flow of goods. The firm will provide goods and services to the goods market. The firms provide goods and services to the goods market. And then the goods market um provides goods and services to the households. And then the households provide um the effects of production to the factor markets. And then the factor market provides the effects of production to the firms. I did explain this, so you guys already know this. The households, they are the owners of the effects of production. So they will take the effects of production provided to the factor market. The factor market is just a middle person between the firms and the households. The factor market collects the effects of production on behalf of the firms. So you can also say that. So, and the factor market will take the effects of production from the household and then take it to the firms. The firms will then use the effects of production to produce goods and services, which will then be sold to the goods market. The goods market is like your Pick and Pay and your Spar. They will then sell those goods and services back to the household. Now, the circular flow of income and spending, um, it's the household, they will then, so from here, from the circular flow of um goods and services, the households provide their factor of production to the factor market. Then in return, the factor market rewards them for their factor of production in a form of income, which will be an income to the household. And then these factors of production are remunerated in different ways. So wages we know as salaries. So for salary, I will for the labor, for providing one of the effects of production, which is labor, they'll get a wage. For providing the entrepreneurship, one of the effects of production, which is entrepreneurship, they'll get a profit. Then for providing the capital, they get interest. And also for providing land, they get rent. And then the factor market collects the factors of production from the households in behalf of the firms, right? Then the factor market will then take the factors of production to the firms. And the firms, in return, they will um spend money on the factor market in order to compensate them for the factors of production, which is spending. Okay. And then after that, the firms will use the factor of production to produce goods and services, then sell those goods and services to the factor market. Then the factor market will pay for these goods and services, which would be an income to the firms. The goods markets then also take the goods and services and sell them to the households. Then the households, they also pay for these goods and services to the goods markets, which will be an which is regarded as expenditure by household. So when households purchase goods and services to in the goods market, it is regarded as expenditure because they are spending their revenue or their income that they've earned from the effects of production to purchase goods from the goods market. And also even here when the factor market um sell the effects of production to the firms, it is regarded as expenditure from the firm's side to the factor market because they are spending their income which they've received from the goods market to pay for the factors of production. And then the government tax levied on households and firms denoted by T. So we denote tax by UT. I'm sure all of you know what tax is. Transfer payment. So my transfer payment, those are income from the wealthy to the poor. The income from the wealthy to the poor, and then my transfer payment, then now it is your social, your grants, disability grant, foster care grant, all the grants that are given by the government, The government gets the money from the wealthy people to provide to the poor through taxation. Government expenditure denoted by G, and then G constitutes an injection. So now we've been introduced to a new term, which is an injection. So they say G constitutes an injection in the flow, while taxes T constitutes a leakage withdrawal from the circular flow. So there's a difference between, I think we're going to see the slide, which, well, now there's injection of that. So an injection is the money that is coming into the economy. And then a leakage is money that is leaving the economy or the withdrawal in the economy. So they're saying that taxes are an injection into the economy. Because when you pay tax, you give the government tax to actually used in the economy. And then I'm sorry, government expenditure is an injection into the economy, while taxation, so when you pay tax, money is leaving the economy because you're taking some of the money that you have, you're giving it to the government, and then it's not being used in the economy at that time when you have it because you'd have to you'd have to give it to the government. So taxes is a leakage in the economy, and government expenditure is an injection. So it's money that is being injected in because the government expenditure, will provide us with the public goods and services. So government is using the money to actually spend in the economy, while taxation money is just going to the government. So it's a withdrawal. And then adding the government. Also, what I explained that when you add the government will provide the firms with the public goods and services, and then such as infrastructure, then the firms will pay tax. Government also provide us with the public goods and services such as schools, hospitals, and then we also pay tax. The government also provides government expendi government also buy goods and services from the goods markets and then also pay the goods markets for their goods and services, which is government expenditure. So government expenditure occurs when the government is now buying goods and services from the goods markets. And also the government purchases labor from the labor markets, and then the government also has to pay the factor markets for having provided it with the factors of production. Then that becomes government expenditure again because government is purchasing the factors of production. Just to make an example here, labor that could be demanded by the government here could be factor of production which could be um purchased by the government could be maybe labor. For instance, the teachers that work in public schools and doctors that work in public hospitals. Yeah, that's an example. Government extracts income from households and firms through taxation, exactly what we saw here, taking tax and then and purchase goods and services and factors of production in the goods and factor markets, which is government expenditure. So you guys have to know this thing here, which is I plus G plus X, it's an injection. S plus T plus Z, it's a leakage. So jigs, I usually say jigs is an injection, which means the others are definitely a leakage. So this is how I cram this thing. I say no, I use it. I'll just create my own weight which is jigs, and then the other one obviously is going to be an injection because jigs stands for government expenditure plus investment plus, I don't want to write the full word because I do not have a space, plus X for export. So government expenditure equals to So government expenditure, that government is spending in the economy, investment, you're investing money by buying capital goods, and then exports, we selling goods to the rest of the world, so the rest of the world is buying from us. So there's an injection in the economy. So this is what's an injection. And then the other one, obviously it becomes a leakage. And the other one would be, you just look, since you've used government expenditure, now you're left with what? Consumption expenditure by household. So I'm just going to write consumption. I'm going to run out of space. Let me just write C. Consumption expenditure by household plus, because you have exports, then you must have imports here, which is denoted by Z. Imports is denoted by Z. Plus what else is missing, guys? Government expenditure, investment, imports, consumption, expenditure, exports, and taxation. And taxation. So this becomes what's a leakage. Why am I writing in caps? This becomes a leakage. So guys, you know how to, okay, this one we'll call it what? I can't find a word for this, but you just have to know that our injections are jigs. If you want to remember it jigs. And then you know that government expenditure obviously valid because the government is spending in the economy, investment because you're buying capital goods, and then exports because the rest of the world is purchasing from our economy, which means that they're spending on us. Money is coming into the country. So it is an injection. Then a leakage, consumption expenditure here by household. Um, wait, it's not, it's savings. These are savings. These are savings. It's it's not consumption expenditure per household. What's going on, guys? Let me just do it again. X plus um Z plus savings plus and what else? Taxation equals to a leakage. So savings, when you say OY, I don't know, okay, what's going on. Let me just write here. Savings, when you're saving your money, it's you're not using it, it's just staying there. So it constitutes a leakage, and also your taxation as well as your imports. When you're purchasing from the rest of the world, money is leaving the economy. So it's the withdrawal in the economy. So it says a leakage. And then financial markets are in addition to the goods and factor markets. They provide funds for investment and consumers. So financial markets, they provide us with funds such as loans for investors and consumers. They provide saving facility. We also save our money there in the financial sector. Foreign sector, foreign sector. It is also an added one whereby to our countries and institutions outside the South African border. So it's countries outside that we interact with. Flows of goods and services between domestic economy and foreign sector are called exports and imports, Z. X is an addition or an injection. So exports, this is where now other countries are buying from us and then money is coming in, so it's an injection. Exports denoted by Z, this is where now we are buying from other countries. For example, we're buying from Shen, then it's a withdrawal or a leakage in the economy. And then adding the foreign sector. So as you can see here, households, as we purchase goods from the foreign sector, and then in return, we purchase goods from the foreign sector. The foreign sector provides us with the goods and services, and then we pay for exports. Yeah. Then we pay for we import, we import goods and services or payments of imports actually. So the firms pay for the imports, and then here it's the payments for the exports. So when we when we sell, so when the households they sell to the foreign sector, then the foreign sector will pay for the exports, which will be an injection in the economy. Or when the firms they purchase from the foreign sector, then they'd have to pay for the imports, which will be a leakage in the economy. And then financial institutions in the circular flow of income and spending. So here's the financial sector. Have the households they saving in the financial sector, and also the financial sector in puts the investment with the firms, and also the firms save in the financial sector. So money flow of saving is shown from the household towards the financial markets. The inflow of investment expenditure is shown as borrowing by business firms from the financial market. So this investment is when like the firms are borrowing money from the financial sector. So the financial sector will provide them with the funds. Then the firms will use those funds um to produce goods and services, sell goods and services, make more profits, then save some money also with the financial sector. Here they say, as far as foreign sector is concerned, part of the domestic production is exported to other countries, while other goods and services are imported to satisfy domestic needs. So basically meaning that after we produce goods and services, some of it we export it to other countries. And then also if we do not have enough goods here in our country, then we import some of the goods from the rest of the world. From households imports, firm and households imports from the rest of the world, while surplus goods and services are exported to the rest of the world. So if you've produced more goods and services, the surplus is exported to the rest of the world. The overall picture is that we have checks, which indicates the injections, and this which indicates the leakages. So here they are also explaining what we've just explained on the previous slide, guys. To say that the firms they save with the financial sector, they also borrow money from the financial sector, which is investment denoted by I. Household saves in the financial sector denoted by S. Households pay tax to the government denoted by T. Government provides government expenditure to the firms in a form of providing public goods. Firms also import from the foreign sector. Then the foreign sector also exports from the households. Then macroeconomic policy. So the objectives of the macroeconomic policy is to achieve economic growth, full employment, price stability, balance of payment stability, and equity. This is not on the learning outcome. This is on the learning outcome. South Africa's factor endowments. So the South Africa's factor endowment, it refers to the country's natural and human resources that are available for production. So such as natural resources. These are the country's natural and human resources that are available for production. We use natural resources in the production. We use labor, we use capital, entrepreneurship. Basically, South Africa's factor endowment is referring to the factors of production which are used in the production process in order to manufacture our goods and services. Yeah, guys, that is it. We will do we'll do the questions Or let me just answer these because no, guys, that is it from me. We'll do revision tomorrow. We'll do the revision tomorrow.